Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show with your host, Bill Shelton. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
My name is Butch Rhodes, and I'd like to welcome you all to Michigan Golfer TV. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the golf history here in Michigan, particularly the African-American golf community, and how much different golfers have contributed of African-American descent to the game of golf here in Michigan. A couple people come to mind. First and foremost is a gentleman by the name of Ben Davis. The other people I'd like to talk about is, of course, Calvin Peete, who was born here in Detroit. Lee Elder spent a lot of time playing golf here in Detroit. Some of the people that are amateur golfers that have played well here in Michigan, the first and foremost that comes to my mind is a gentleman out of Pontiac, Michigan by the name of Charles Winfro. Charlie was fortunate enough to win the Horton Smith championship twice in his playing career. Another person that's won the Horton Smith is a gentleman by the name of A.C. Burks. A.C. Burks is out of Detroit. He's still one of the top Publix players here in Michigan, and plays and participates in quite a few of the amateur senior events here in Michigan to this date. No one has waved the flag and any harder and have done any more to get young golfers interested in the game of golf than a young lady by the name of Selena Johnson, who, by the way, has won the prestigious Cart Walker Award given to the #1 junior golf program in America. Some of the other things I'd like to talk about is some of the people that have been champions here in Michigan playing golf and have had stellar playing careers. First and foremost, it comes to mind is the only African-American player to ever win the Michigan Open, and that's Pete Brown. Pete Brown went on to also become the first African-American player to win on the PGA Tour. And today I've got the fortunate opportunity to talk to a friend of mine, the legendary Michigan PGA golf professional, Ben Davis. Well, there's no doubt about your success playing the game. One of the things that I found was real interesting about your career was how humble and how gracious you've been going through your career when you've had so many things working against you. I know when you first got started playing golf, you mentioned that you used to play in some of the tournaments by yourself. Can you talk about that a little bit?
I can say a few words, but when I start talking about that and things of that nature, I start crying. So rather than to cry, I'll just say I had some tough times along the way. I'll put it like that.
Who was some of the best golfers that you could appreciate watching them play, and who was maybe your favorite golfer?
Well, Sam Snead always was my good friend and good player too. And I would say one of the best.
Which one of your memories that you might have about young Lee Elder when he came up?
It's hard to say. And the special thing about Lee, he was an all-around player, a good little player. When he came in, he was a youngster, but he was a good player.
Why don't we talk a little bit about a couple of the hole-in-ones you might have had? How many of them have you had?
I've had 3. Each one was a long hole. That's what makes it so difficult, to think and talk about. A hole that's over 200 yards, that's a long ways to hit a ball.
One of the things that we talked about relative to golf is some of the people that you used to play golf with. And one of the guys that used to hang around Rackham for so many years was the people's champ, Joe Louis.
Well, I tell you the truth, Joe and I were very good friends. And he paid many checks for me. And when I say that, I'm speaking about, I don't mean I won money off of him. I don't mean that at all. When I said paid checks for me, if we've gone to some place to eat, he'd pick up the tab. And if I say I want to go to a different golf course from what we've been playing, this way out, then he said, well, I'll get the cab, or I'll get the car, or I'll get a chauffeur, something like that. So he was a very nice guy.
Very gracious guy.
That's right. And he always felt good about doing something good for somebody else.
When you play golf with Joe Louis, one of the other people that was around Rackham that got their start with you was a guy named Pete Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about Pete?
Pete didn't stay there too long. He was in and out because Randolph Wallace was his, say he owned Pete, say like that, because that was
One of his sponsors?
Yeah. And he would take him different places, so Pete wasn't staying with us too long.
I remember one time, talking about the golf swing, I remember one time we were out practicing, and you kept hitting this little, putting the ball off from the middle of the fairway, and you were closing the club face through, and we were playing for dimes. And I think we played 4 holes, and I was down about $1.50. Can you talk a little bit about Phil? So you're laughing now.
Yeah, we have a lot of people in Detroit alone that play good golf, and some that come in and out and play good golf. And take you, for instance, you're a good player. People see you a big man, and you say, oh, he's clumsy, he can't hit the ball, he can't make a backswing because he can't turn. See? And if they look at you and see you hit the ball, they know, oh, I didn't know he could do that.
Well, you're very kind, and you're still not going to get your 2 shots when we play.
I'm telling you the truth.
Well, appreciate your time that you've given us talking about your golf career. You got plans on playing a little bit this summer.
If I can stand up, I'm getting old now, see.
Well, you seem to be moving around here pretty good. So I look forward to our games this summer, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you again along the way. This is Butch Rhodes, and thanks for watching Michigan Golfer.